Tom, we're doing something different today. What is it?
We are indeed. We are going to be shooting a tutorial today. The others are away, so we thought we would help you out with a bit of technique. It's going to be aimed for the very kind of beginner climber, someone who's only been climbing a couple of weeks maybe. But yeah, maybe there'll be something in here for everybody.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. We're going to be doing a few videos in a row, so hopefully we'll be covering all the techniques.
Yeah.
Sweet, let's get started.
All of the techniques. When we're climbing, particularly slab climbing, you always want to be standing on the front area, the toe box of your shoe, and this is going to give you a lot more maneuverability. Yeah, the sides of your shoes aren't actually designed for standing on. You can see that these are kind of where it arches in. Here, if you look at the profile, this area here and this area on the other side, it's not really designed for standing on. It's this whole area here that's going to be doing the real work. Which is why the shoes are so tight, to really force your toes all together to make them much stronger.
Oh yeah, I thought it was to make you more delicate and dainty.
Yeah, delicate, dainty, but powerful.
Wow.
We're standing on the fronts of our toes because if we stand on the sides of our feet, that will just lock us into position. That will give us no movement in the top half of our body. But if we're on our toes, we can move in kind of any direction that we like. Alright, sweet. So now we know that we need to be standing on our toes and not the sides of our feet. Something else that is really important is to be super duper conscious whilst you're placing your feet. I see a lot of people just kind of slapping their feet on any which way. Always look at the foothold before you place your foot. It kind of sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't. So look before you place, and also try and place it kind of gently and carefully. Don't just throw your foot on there.
Wise words.
Wise words. Another thing, it's always easier to make smaller steps than big steps. I see a lot of people in life and in climbing, always little steps. So if you've got a bad foothold before a good foothold, make a small step on the bad foothold, then step up onto the better foothold. Don't just chuck your foot really high up onto, you know, the best looking foothold and stand up on that, because that's going to be a lot less efficient. I can't make the sound. Right, so if I'm standing with my feet, my knees facing straight into the wall, it's kind of pushing my hips out a little bit. My bum's kind of coming out further. I'm having to put a lot more force on my hands. But if I'm standing on either the inside or the outside edges of my toes, like this, that's kind of going to bring my body much closer in. Does that make sense?
Your hands, yeah.
Don't need my hands. I'm standing right at my toes. My bum's coming out. I'm falling off. So even though we're still standing on this front area, but we're using this edge or this edge, not necessarily right the very end of the shoe. We've done quite a lot of standing on kind of edges and small footholds. Now we're going to talk about kind of standing on like bigger, slopier footholds. We're going to talk about standing in volumes. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So this is a really easy place to show that off. This is a huge volume.
Nice.
So when you're standing on a volume, I'll explain it whilst I'm on the ground. You want your toe, the front of your toe, the top of your toe, facing up the volume. Okay. I will demonstrate. Yeah, so you can see both my feet are facing towards the highest point of the volume, and this means I'm getting that entire toe area of my shoe onto the volume. If I was placing my foot side on, although I might be getting more rubber down, my weight's going to roll across my foot and my foot's just going to slip off. The same goes for trying to stand on the edge of the volume on the inside of your foot. I see a lot of people trying to do that. That's not going to do you a lot of favours either. So yeah, always try and have your toes facing up the volume if you can. Cool, so as well as pointing our toe to the top of the volume, we also want to be putting pressure through our feet. So the rubber's not going to stick unless there's actually pressure going through our feet. So if we're kind of pulling in a lot in our arms or having our hands too high up, that's going to lift weight off our feet, and it's not going to, you know, we're not going to get that friction. So try and push through to kind of the balls of your feet. Is that the right point? Where's the ball of your foot?
Yes, you're right.
Is the ball of your foot here? Yeah. So like pushing through the balls of your feet to get. That sounds so wrong now.
Yeah, I know.
To get your whole toe onto the volume. I mean, but like if you're just standing on it without any handholds, that's fine. But if you're really reaching up off a volume, then you're more likely to slip. So you're not necessarily bending your knees. You're just making sure you've got pressure going down through your feet. Awesome. So yeah, one thing we haven't talked about yet is foot swaps or matching feet. So matching is when you have either both hands or both feet on the same foothold. The reason why you want to do this with your feet is because you might need to basically step through. So you need to bring your left foot to your right foot and then move your right foot out, or vice versa. So if you've got a nice big foothold, you can just shuffle one of your feet further across, and if you're standing on your toes, you could probably just twist it out of the way, and then you can bring the other foot next to it and step out. If the foot is slightly smaller, you just hover one foot over the other and then pull the bottom foot out. Yeah, just remember to place your feet carefully try and put into practice some of the stuff we said. But yeah, like I say, you know, I'm not like a footwork coach or anything like that, if those things even exist. But yeah, I have been climbing 11 years, so hopefully I do know a couple of things. So yeah, these things will probably help you get to the top sometimes, but you know, rules are made to be broken. Yeah.
Just be efficient.
Yeah, sometimes you might need to, you know.
And if you have the arms the size of 2 human children, I mean, just use those. You don't need your legs. So
exactly. Yeah, it's
all
true.
subjective.
It's all subjective. Who needs feet? Who needs feet if you go to the gym 6 times a week?